Hello and welcome to CrossFit Harrow's podcast. This is episode number 12. This week I wanted to talk to you about something that a lot of you are going to reset and create as we have the good news of opening outdoor sessions at CrossFit Harrow, and a lot of gyms over the country are going to be open physically, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. So the thing that I want to talk to you today about is your momentum and how to use it. So now, as I said, is a clean slate for you to really be able to get your head where it needs to be in terms of your fitness goals. You've had time to reflect, time to get yourself set for goals and what you want to achieve for the next 6 months of the year, or 5 months now left, and an opportunity for you to find the momentum. So how do you get into that rhythm or routine? That kind of feeling when you're on a roll where things feel effortless and things happen, they flow, and you get shit done. You start making progress, and we all get those days. And the thing that we're looking and we're talking about there in terms of effortless and when things are on a roll is that momentum. And the more and more of those days that you get, along with the bulletproof mindset that I said back in episode 1. Essentially, you will become more and more unstoppable, and anything that you set your mind to, you'll achieve. Now, most people, they have no idea of why they get it on some days and why they don't on others. And it's quite simple, actually. You just think about this and keep it as simple as possible. You have full control, and it's something that you can turn on and off at will. You just have to have it in between the ears. And think about how much progress you could make if you could have that feeling of momentum and being unstoppable every single day. So going back to that first podcast of being bulletproof and taking things in your stride and how you deal with things and getting things done, you can also create that momentum. You don't want to spend the next 15, 20, 30 years struggling to find what you're trying to, your purpose, struggling to get into that routine, struggling to find that rhythm, and grinding away because you haven't taken the time to harness this discipline. Learn to make it a part of who you are internally, in your core, essentially, by harnessing and controlling that momentum. Now, to inspire you to change, you need a purpose, and that's in anything. That's whatever element of whatever it is that you want to do, change, you need a sense of purpose. And at the moment, the fitness industry, and I think for a long time, is shit. It's stuck. There's a lot of rubbish out there, and the reason I say this is because there's never a definitive answer in methods, equipment, supplements, programs or methodologies or whatever, because it's so opinionated. It's a very selfish, very vain, and it is full of, essentially, there are a lot of people that is fed by bottom feeding predators that just feed absolute shit into the industry, and it almost needs to be rebuilt and put into a positive place, and constantly, with good reinforcement and of good values, we can do that. One thing that we as a company are trying to do is put honest fitness out there for people to achieve, for people to make changes through their lifestyle, so people look at in 10, 15 years and go, wow, look at how far I've come. No short selling, nothing to do with buy this is a quick fix. And I've said in a lot of these podcasts, there's longevity in a lot of the things you do. There's no magic secret, there's no magic pill. So finding that purpose of what it is that you're trying to achieve and what you want to inspire to change this is where you start to learn how to control that momentum, because doing so enables you to do something, again, that I spoke about a lot of the time, is small actionable goals. The industry that will become a place of positivity and truth. For example, a lot of the CrossFit boxes and a lot of CrossFit owners won't mind me saying that boxes are a place of camaraderie and support. A lot of negativity is left outside. Everyone feels welcome, encouraged, they're supported to make change they need to make and live their life, and to make the changes they need to live the life that they want to live. By finding your purpose, you start the ball rolling. You get that momentum. You're in a place where other people's momentum are rolling around you. Think about it as, the tumbleweed may not be the greatest example in some contexts, but in some others, as the tumbleweed keeps rolling, it gets bigger, and you've just got to take things in your stride. In one of my previous podcasts, I did actually speak about people needing motivation, and you need to be, let's say, inspired by someone, by a social post or whatever, and that's and I was getting at that you shouldn't need to. Success breeds motivation. The more you see results, the more you're inspired, and the more you're motivated because you're seeing actual progress. Think about the last time you quit, whatever it was that you quit, whether it is a set, a rep, a program, a routine of some sort, something at work, whatever. You most likely quit because you stopped seeing results, so you lost that motivation. Think of it as if you have a personal goal, a financial goal maybe of saving X amount per year because you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car. That's originally what triggers you to act on something. That's where you get the ball rolling, and you start to create a bit of momentum then by saving. You start saving each month. Month one might have X amount of money. Let's say £500-600. Month two, another £500-600. Month three, you start seeing there's a couple of £1,000. Month six, maybe if your goal was to save £10,000, you might be in a position where there's £3,000-4,000-5,000 in there, and now that is motivating you because that ball is rolling. The kind of analogy that you said about the tumbleweed before is getting bigger, and you're going more with that flow. Your ball's rolling, you're getting higher in terms of that. Your momentum is increasing, and you have full control. You're starting to build this money, and essentially you can do what you want with it. The minute you stop saving is where you no longer see those results, and that's where you can maybe lose the motivation. But success in that respect, it can be a number in fitness, could be a weight on a scale. Success doesn't have to be, a tangible object like, a car or a house. It doesn't have to be. It can be. But if we look at the podcast that I spoke about 2 weeks ago, success essentially is a fulfillment of potential, and there's something that we all have. You just have to unlock that potential. And all these podcasts are all aligned to help you get into a pattern where you're thinking about your potential. You're trying to unlock that potential. You're trying to get yourself into a bulletproof mindset. You're trying to make certain changes or learning the secrets of success, where there's discipline, where actually there's no real secret. It's just hard craft and consistency. It's creating and impacting the most you possibly can with the time and tools that you're blessed with. Learn how to control that momentum by doing small wins. Even if they're so small to you, in the bigger picture, they're huge, because they're gonna those small wins are exactly what are going to lead you to that big goal, whatever it might be that you have, whether it's financial, personal, whatever it might be. That's going to happen. So unless you can look at yourself in the mirror and truly say that you're doing absolutely everything and the best that you can, you should always be wanting to try. You should always be wanting to learn. You should always be wanting to give it your best shot. You should always be wanting to do better. So that actually wraps up the end of today's podcast. But learn and start feeling this element of discipline, and learn to create that ball rolling in terms of momentum. We shall all see you next week for our outdoor group sessions. But next week we'll also have a special guest on the show, and we talk about their journey into fitness and how maybe they create momentum and how they create a bulletproof kind of lifestyle around setting themselves around goals. But enjoy, and speak to you soon.